He moved in the stillness, where even shadows refused to follow. A hush fell over Egypt, a silence too heavy to be natural, the kind that seeps into bone, the kind that warns the soul it is being watched. The people could not name him, but they felt him. A pressure in the air, a thinning of the veil, an unseen figure passing between doorways, testing the wood, tasting the fear. Those who marked their thresholds with blood trembled indoors, praying that the crimson sign would be enough. Those who did not felt the night grow colder. Something ancient walked the streets, not with footsteps, but with purpose. It needed no weapon, no scream, no flame, only obedience to a command whispered by the Eternal. And once the command was given, nothing in Egypt would remain untouched.
The decree had been spoken long before mortal ears ever heard it. A judgment older than the pyramids, older than the sand that swallowed forgotten kings. In the high places, unseen by men, a voice that birthed galaxies whispered a single verdict, and the angel listened. Not with curiosity, not with mercy, but with the unblinking certainty of a being carved from obedience itself. He did not question why the night must become a weapon. He only descended, folding the darkness around him like a second skin. Across Egypt, torches flickered as if frightened. The idols of stone and gold seemed to lean away, their carved eyes refusing to meet what walked beneath them. Even the Nile, usually bold and swollen with life, held its breath, its waters trembling under a moon that suddenly felt too pale. And in the houses of Egypt's firstborn, dreams began to curdle. There are moments when a nation senses its doom. This was one of them. A pause before the final breath, the last heartbeat before the silence breaks. And he was the silence. It began with a sound too faint to be a knock, a soft inhaling, as though the wooden doors of Egypt had grown lungs for a single night. Families pressed their backs against the walls, holding their children close, hearing the impossible rhythm of the doors drawing breath. Slow, trembling, waiting. For outside, something stood on every threshold. Not in one city or another, but everywhere at once. A presence without form, yet heavy enough to bend the heartbeat of every living creature in its shadow. Some claimed later they saw a figure, tall as a pillar of smoke, moving with the fluid grace of a nightmare that hadn't decided which shape to take. Others swore they saw nothing at all, just the air folding inward, as though creation itself was stepping aside to let him pass. And wherever he stopped, the breath inside the houses stalled. Mothers felt it, warriors felt it, even the cattle felt it, lifting their heads in the dark as if acknowledging a master they hoped would keep walking. But the angel of death did not walk. He drifted, like a thought God wished to finish. And when he exhaled, the night answered. Midnight did not fall gently. It dropped like a blade, slicing the night into what lived and what would not see dawn. Inside the homes marked with blood, the air thickened but did not strike. Children whimpered in dreams they would not remember. Mothers pressed trembling lips to foreheads. And fathers stared at the doorway as if daring the darkness to break its oath. But beyond those crimson-signed thresholds, Egypt held its breath and lost it. The angel moved without sound, yet every passing
felt like the weight of an ocean settling on a single chest. Lamp flames thinned, shadows recoiled, and the cold grew intelligent, almost aware of the lives it touched. Then came the moment no one speaks of, the moment even history refuses to write, when the unseen hand crossed each doorway and chose. There was no scream, no struggle, not even a gasp, just a sudden, harrowing stillness, as if a thread tying a soul to the world had been cut so cleanly that the world itself did not notice until it was too late. And in house after house, silence became grief. Before the sun rose, Egypt already knew something was wrong. The night felt swollen, as though it had devoured too much to fully disappear. When dawn finally crawled over the horizon, its light looked hesitant, thin, sickly, as though afraid to reveal what it must. Doors opened. Mothers fell to their knees. Fathers tore garments they no longer needed. A sound rose across the land. Not a cry, not a wail, but a collective breaking. A nation shattering under the weight of what it had lost. And far beyond the grief, beyond the palaces and the shouts and the dust, the angel of death drifted back into the unseen places, carrying no trophy, claiming no glory. He left behind only the echo of his passage, a memory carved into the bones of a kingdom, a reminder written not in ink, but in absence. For the command had been fulfilled, the judgment complete, and the silence he brought would be remembered longer than the kings who tried to forget it.